Okay, today's lesson is on adding integers, and we have three rules that we are going to use when we are adding integers. The first one is a rule that everybody is always known. If you are adding two positive integers, the answer is going to be positive, and you just add to get the answer. That's one we've known for a long time. Now, we also found out in class today that if we are adding two negative integers, that answer is going to be a negative. And to get the answer there, we also just add. And we have the third rule, which is when we're adding two integers with different signs. So one's positive and one's negative. Your answer will take the sign of the larger number. When we say the larger number, what we're talking about is the highest absolute value. So whichever one has a higher absolute value, that's the sign we use, positive or negative. Then to get the answer, we actually need to subtract. Okay? So these are the three rules that we're going to use when we're adding integers. So this one, they're both positives. We just used our first rule. We just add like we always have. 12 plus 27 is 39, and it's positive. And that's one that we've always known. Now, when we add two negatives, the rule was the answer will be negative, and to get the answer, you're just going to add these together. 10 and 6 is 16. You can see on a number line why that works. Let's say this here is negative 10 on my number line, and I was going to add a negative to it. Normally, adding means we'll be moving to the right on a number line, but since it's a negative, we're actually going to move to the left here. So we're starting at negative 10, but then we're moving left 6 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brings me over here, and that is at negative 16. And that would be my answer. So because they're both negatives, they're both moving in the same way, same direction on the number line, that makes it go further down into the negative. So we're adding these together, and the answer is negative. Now, when we have different signs, one's negative and one's positive, our rule on the first page said that you would use the sign of the bigger number, which in this case would be the 11. Absolute value of 11 is bigger than the absolute value of negative 7. So the sign is going to be positive for my answer. And then it told us that we should subtract these. So 11 minus 7 is 4. Again, if you want to see why that would be, let's assume this down here is negative 7 on my number line. Well, then I'm starting here. If I'm adding an 11, that means I'm going to the right 11 places. So if I do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's going to put me at 0. 8, 9, 10, I got to add one more on here. There's the 11th. That is over at positive 4. Basically, if you think about it on a number line, these numbers are moving in opposite directions. The negative is moving to the left on the number line. The positive is moving to the right. That is why we actually end up subtracting these, because they're working against each other on the number line, going in opposite directions. And that's why the bigger one tells us the sign. If I'm moving more to the right than I am to the left, my answer would be positive. If I'm moving to the left more than I'm moving right, my answer would be a negative. So we can look at a couple more of these. A negative 12 plus 4. That tells me my answer is going to be negative because the 12 is bigger. And if I subtract them, that is 8. So if I'm starting over here at negative 12, I'm just moving to the right 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be at negative 8. 10, 11, negative 10, negative 9, negative 8. Excuse me. So we can see that this will give me a negative 8. Now, 8 plus negative 3. If you think about it on a number line, if this is positive 8, I'm adding a negative. That means I'm going to move to the left. I go 1, 2, 3 places. I will be at positive 5. Or by our rule, the 8's bigger, so my answer will be positive. Subtract these, I get 5. So you can use either method that you choose, whichever is easier and makes more sense to you. Think about what it would be happening on a number line. Like for this one, I'm starting at 5, and then I'm moving left 9 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would bring it back at 0. 6, 7, 8, 9. That is over at -4. Or I can use my rule if that makes more sense. Take the sign of the bigger one, the higher absolute value is the negative. So my answer is going to be negative. And then subtract these. And 9 minus 5 is 4. So either way, whichever one makes more sense to you, it doesn't matter to me as long as you're getting the right answer. Use your rule or use a number line.